to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows, visit electronicmediacollective.com.
It's a nice touch.
It is, yeah. I'm happy that it's not just sitting in the bedroom.
Right.
So,
right. No, I mean it's good. I feel like when I go back and watch some of the episodes, when we had the big TV before, I felt like I was straining more to look at the TV than I am this one. It looks more fluid. Like we're looking at the camera and talking, you know?
Yeah.
Either we're looking at each other and talking, or we're looking at the camera and talking. The old way, we were just like looking off into space sometimes, and it's good stuff.
I mean, I got no problem looking into these beautiful browns. So,
you love that brown. Hey everyone, welcome to the show. I'm Scott.
I'm Adam.
That's Adam. We're here again. You like my shirt, Adam?
Let's say fresh and clean tonight, sir.
So fresh, so clean.
You came in like Dapper Dan.
I got the red Hawaiian going on. I figured, I got to compete with your good looks.
Look, ever since we started doing the camera thing, I was like, I can't like fully bum it. Like, I'll bum it sometimes, just throw a hoodie on or something like that. But like,
see, when I go back and watch, like, that's the difference between us. Because the beginning of For Your Distraction, we just did an audio podcast. And we could come basically in our underwear. Like, we didn't care. We didn't, because
I don't want to hear about your nightlife.
That's fine. But we basically were bumming it.
Yeah.
And because we weren't, we were the face for radio. We don't
speak for yourself.
But then we got the bright idea to do the video podcast.
You gotta move with the times.
We did. We had to adapt. Keep up. A lot of podcasts went the video route, so we had to keep up with the Joneses. So we did. But one thing I didn't adapt was my style. I was still bumming it. And you come here. Look at you, man. Look at you.
It helps that I am losing weight. That also, I'm down 15 pounds so far.
Not too
shabby.
So
it does help. I'm wearing clothes I used to not be able to wear just because like I didn't feel like I looked good in it. No, just like the weight is just falling off right now.
Dude,
that's all it is.
Whatever it is. So I figured, I keep looking like a bum next to you, so I put on a nice red Hawaiian.
It looks good. It looks good.
I have two red Hawaiians for some reason. So next week I'll
wear. Are they both the same?
They're one's red and white, one's red and black. You'll see. Take a mental note of this one, and next week I'll wear the other one.
All right.
For the people who don't know, it'll be like, he's wearing the same shirt. No, it's different.
Black and white are two different colors, yes.
Keep banging me.
No,
this microphone keeps hitting this microphone. It's driving me crazy.
Cut that thing off. Just cut it off, man.
So here we are, another wonderful, gut-wrenching episode.
A little earlier than we typically do. Usually we hit like the 10:30 mark. It's not even a quarter after 9.
Oh my gosh. I wanted to come a little earlier tonight, and I didn't realize.
I don't want to hear about your personal life.
We just jumped right into it. We wasted no time. We're clocking in early.
You were excited. You came in excited. You were like, you came in as, like I said, Dapper Dan. You got a game tonight that you came in with the papers. You're like when you get stuff worked up, when you get things going, you plan stuff. You don't just come with an idea and like notes in your phone. You have like basically an entire like tablet set aside with a pen, and then just sketched out like all kinds of like what you're gonna do. Like when you do stuff, man, you do it.
You're gonna do it big. I'm a man. I'm 40.
Yeah.
I'm old school. Give me a paper and a pen. I don't know why. I'm just can't teach an old dog new tricks.
I might as well, I guess.
But here we are. So I think my problem isn't my creativeness or laziness. I think it's just how busy I normally am, especially on the weekends. There's a lot of times on Saturdays when we typically record, I'm out and about doing things and have to rush to get here. And sometimes I'm like, hey, I'm going to come over at 10:30 instead of 10. I'm running a little bit late. That was not the case today. I know you want to hear about my personal life, but just had a bum day, and it was nice. Didn't have anything going on. And Adam, it's March.
It is March.
As we're recording this, it is March. And you know something happens in March. Some people, like me, we get mad. We get mad. We get the madness when March rolls around.
Are those against drunk driving?
The moms against drunk driving. I'm talking about March Madness, the NCAA basketball tournament.
My grandmother was a proud member of MAD, by the way. Just saying.
I mean, who wouldn't be?
Get mad.
Get mad. So
March Madness.
I'm watching. I filled out my bracket. Have you ever filled out a March Madness bracket?
No, I've never.
Do you know how it works?
I have a good idea. Yes.
So my goal from the beginning of this podcast was to get you more into sports.
I think I'm more into sports now than I have ever been.
You're still not where I need you to be. So I've been failing. So I'm going to keep trying my damnedest. So I'm like,
look, if you want to go to the bar and watch a football game or something like that, we can do it. You're not going to, here's the thing. You're not going to catch me sitting at home alone and watching this, doing any of this stuff.
Catch me outside. How about that?
Yeah, you got to catch me outside to watch this stuff.
Right.
There's never going to be a point where I'm going to sit at home and be like, I'm going to watch a football game. I'm going to be like, I could do probably anything else.
So the cool thing about the March Madness basketball tournament, it's at the end of the season. It's when they crown the champion. They have a big tournament with more than 64 teams now with the play-in games. And it's like little dinky colleges versus big, giant, huge universities.
Yeah.
And they rank them, and there's 4 different regions, and there's the 1 seed all the way to the 16 seed, and they play each other. And every year, there's always, they call that Cinderella team. That little tiny school that just upsets the big powerhouse, and they make a run to the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8. And it's just like, just a cool story. It's so fun to watch. So I'm watching some games today, and I'm like, you know what we're going to do on the show tonight? And I put a lot of work into this on my pencil, my pen and paper. We're going to do a March Madness bracket of movies.
Really?
And you, sir, are going to be the one who picks which movie moves on. So it's Adam's March Madness Tournament Bracket 2025. I am so excited.
So, so typically normal brackets for like March Madness, stuff like that, the one that moves on is the team that beats the other team.
Correct.
How does it work with movies then?
Just, you get to pick.
So I'm picking the winner.
Your favorite, the one you like the best, the one that you think's better. You could just surprise me and take a huge upset. You could take a 16 over a 1. I don't give a damn.
A white man never has had this much power. Let's do it.
I mean, it's all based off of you, my friend. My feathered friend. But that's what happens in the regular tournament. We have these... I rank the movies from 1 to 16, but you could just throw those numbers out. It doesn't matter. Now, I know you, and I know what movies you like, and I think I put your favorite movies...
I was going to say, are these movies, are they all movies I've seen?
There might be a few that snuck in that you haven't seen, and if that's the case, well, then they obviously lose.
I don't mind a little surprise.
Here's the thing. There's a couple that I wasn't so sure about, but I didn't want to give it away.
Yeah.
I didn't want to message you. I was like, hey, have you seen this? So there might be a few movies that you haven't seen, and if that's the case, then
I think if you would have messaged
lose.
me that, I would have just assumed it was a coercive cinema thing. I think if you would have...
Well, that's coming later, too. That's a whole nother kettle of fish. But I've got four brackets, 4 regions.
All right.
We've got the sci-fi region, the action region, the comedy region, and the horror region. Okay, now let me just say the same thing goes for the basketball tournament. The regions don't really make sense. Sometimes they'll like say, oh, Yukon, you're going to be in the West region. Or Florida, you're going to be in the Midwest. They're not in those regions geographically. That just happens to be the region they play in. Right. I tried my damnedest to put movies that I thought were in that category.
Everything's a little ambiguous today. You know,
there might be some that you're like, oh, that's not an action movie. That's a comedy. But, you know, tough shit.
Had I known this was going to be, obviously you couldn't spoil it for me because it'd spoil the surprise. Had I known, I would have set up the second webcam that we have so that it would be down on the paper so we could have a second window underneath us, so at the very least you could see the brackets.
So we're doing the first round tonight.
Okay.
Next week we're going to do the round of 32. You'll have an idea. We can make graphics for the two that go against each other. We'll work that later.
I'm gonna set a reminder on my phone right now for next week. Set up the second webcam.
Okay. Well, they can't read this. This is chicken scratch. I just did it real quick. So
Right, but you'll make a nicer one for next week.
whatever you say. So first things first, let's get right into this. There are what are called play-in games in the tournament. That's where they have two teams with similar records that are both trying to get into the tournament, and they have them play a game against each other just to get into the tournament.
Right.
Adam, we've got some play-in games here.
Okay.
We've got some games that need to be decided to fill out our bracket. Are you ready to go?
I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
Okay. Our very first play-in game is in the sci-fi region.
I love the sci-fi.
The winner of this will be an 8 seed. Okay?
right.
We've got Back to the Future Part 2 versus Back to the Future Part 3.
Oh, the easy layup. Back to the Future Part 2.
Okay.
Easy layup.
The one where they go
Look.
to the future, or the one they go to the Wild West? The one where they go to the future.
Yes.
Okay.
So, like, nothing against Back to the Future Part 3, but that is definitely the weakest of those movies.
I agree.
100%.
I agree.
I still enjoy it sometimes, but it's definitely the weakest.
This is why they play the games. Our next play-in game's in the action region. The winner of this will be a 13 seed. We've got Twister versus Mission Impossible. I had to put these two together because of my Joshy Bear story and the coin flip. So they had to see each other in this tournament, and they're a play-in game. Twister versus Mission Impossible. Who you got, Adam?
So I'm going to pick this mostly because the other movie I've never watched all the way through. I've only seen like mostly clips of it. Enough to know basically what happens. So but I got to go. I got to, keep it to the core, go on Twister. Twister's a really good movie.
Twister's
it's
a
a
good movie.
really good movie.
I would have picked Twister too. At the time, the whole Joshy Bear story, I would have picked Mission Impossible, but I was wrong, but I don't want to admit it. Okay. Our next play-in game is in the comedy region. Winner of this gets a 16 seed.
All right.
And this is a Kevin Smith grudge match.
Ooh.
We've got Mallrats versus Dogma.
Oh, easy layup, Dogma. Dogma's an easy layup. I like Mallrats. It's really an enjoyable movie, but like Dogma, I've watched that movie probably more times than any other Kevin Smith movie, to be honest with you. So, easy layup, Dogma.
Sounds good. We're moving on to the horror region. Horror? Did I do it right?
Yep, horror.
I'm going to mess it up a bunch tonight, just so you know. The winner of this gets a 14 seed. And see, I know Adam hates zombies, so I had to do something to get a zombie film in here. I
don't hate zombies. They're just overplayed now.
We've got 28 Days Later versus World War Z.
Oh, again, these are all softballs, man. These are all like easy.
I'm glad they're easy for you.
28 Days Later. It's definitely the better of the zombie movies.
See, I thought you would have picked World War Z because you love the book so much.
But the movie's nothing like the book.
You've told me that a million times.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
So yeah, it's easy layup. 28 Days Later. That's such a good. Which I heard they were doing a new one of those.
They are.
Yeah, it's like what 28 years later or something.
Days. Okay, this is easy. Okay, we're back at the horror bracket.
All right.
The winner of this gets a 10 seed. We're gonna go Fallen versus Running Man. Running Man could be action, but it's Stephen King, so I put it in the horror bracket.
That's fine.
Fallen, I course of cinema viewed that. That's the one with Denzel Washington and John Goodman with the demon angel that passes from people to people, the serial killer. And, of course, Running Man's Arnold Schwarzenegger, post-apocalyptic game show. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know both of them? You looked confused.
I'm only confused because I have zero memory of Fallen.
You told me how much you loved it. It was one of your favorite course of cinemas that I gave you. Where you touch somebody and it passes on.
Let me look at the cover real quick. If I look at the cover, I think I'll remember.
Well, then you got to pick Running Man. That's the only.
But I've seen it.
Just when I said it, things were going easy.
Look, it can't all be easy.
This is the one you watched with your mom, and she was like, "I've seen this movie so long ago," and she was like, "I love this movie. I forgot about this."
I don't remember watching this movie.
Okay, well then you got to pick Running Man.
I'm gonna pick Running Man anyway because I
know you like that.
I do love Running Man.
I thought you were gonna pick Running Man anyway.
I have no memory. Maybe if I'll watch a trailer later on, and I will see if maybe it sparks something. Well, I don't have any memory of this fucking movie.
Sorry. Okay, moving on.
No, it's not your fault. It's my fault.
We're gonna go back to the action region.
All right.
Winner of this gets a 16th seed. We've got Mortal Kombat, the 1995 version,
Nice.
versus Inglourious Bastards.
Oh. Do I go nostalgia or do I just go
Toughy,
general
huh?
good? This is the first of the real tough ones. My dog keeps trying to go into the bedroom to eat the cat food. Izzy! Stop it.
Izzy, you're messing up our chi.
No, you know what it did? It gave me a little time to think about it. So I'm gonna go. Look, Inglourious Basterds is fantastic. It's one of the best mock you history,
one thing only.
Alt history
Killing
kind
Nazis.
of movies that has ever existed. I think it's great. I love seeing Hitler's face just get blasted away. It's so
I feel like
good.
there's a butt coming.
And I love Mortal Kombat.
They're both good movies.
Mortal Kombat is. It's not really a good movie, but it's a fun movie to
God,
watch.
yes.
It's
Oh, God,
so
yes.
fun to watch, especially if you have nostalgia for that. I'm going to Inglourious Basterds.
Oh!
Yeah.
And one thing only. Killing Nazis.
Okay, I'm surprised. I thought you were
I'm
going to
gonna
go Mortal Kombat.
It's the if I had to have one of two movies to watch, Mortal Kombat or Inglourious Basterds, if I'm like, show me a movie that's like really good and really fun, I'd be like, it's got to be Inglourious Basterds. You know, that's the better of those two movies. You keep reading. I can hear you. I'm just gonna go pick up the cat food because my dog keeps going in there.
Okay,
eating it.
you do you. So that was the first surprise. I thought you were going to go World War Z too, but I thought you were going to go Mortal Kombat over Inglourious Bastards. I know you love both those movies. So see, this is why we play the game. Our next one, we're going to the comedy region.
One of the best soundtracks ever, by the way, Mortal Kombat. I will say that.
Oh, so good. The problem with Mortal Kombat is the sequels. There was a second and a third one. They were dog shit.
Well, the third one's not really a sequel; it's a reboot.
The new one?
Yeah.
There was a third
No, there wasn't.
old one.
No, there wasn't.
Oh, see, he knows.
I know.
swear there was.
I know.
I swear there was.
There's not a third.
So do you remember the second one?
Yeah, it was dog
where the
shit.
first 11 minutes
It's
into the
a-
movie, they just like killed Johnny Cage
takes
and completely
place
wiped everything that the first
2
movie called-
seconds after the first movie? It picks up right where the last movie left off.
Yes.
But with different actors.
Oh, so yeah.
So many different actors. Some of the worst CGI. I don't know if it's worse than the Mummy Returns CGI. I don't know.
So bad.
That's
Christopher Lambert, who we love from Highlander, was Raiden in the first
Yeah.
one, and then all of a sudden
was-
it's just not him.
he was so in the first movie. Raiden was so quippy. He was sarcastic.
So good.
Like he was just great. And then the second.
I mean,
movie,
he's good as McLeod too in
yeah.
Highlander.
And the second movie, he's like just serious. He's
Yeah.
just a serious He's kind of emo. He's like an emo kid.
We're going to the comedy bracket
All right,
here.
comedy.
Winner of this gets the 11 seed. We've got National Lampoon's Vacation
Good.
versus Wayne's World.
National Lampoon's Vacation. Just the first Vacation.
The first, the original, the OG.
OG and Wayne's World.
We throwback cinema that.
Yeah. It's got to be Wayne's World, man. It's got to be Wayne's World.
No way. Denied.
I don't have as strong affinity for Vacation as I do for Christmas Vacation.
Okay.
But I think even if you pick Christmas Vacation, I think I still like Wayne's World better.
Okay.
Quite honestly. So yeah, it's got to be that.
All right. Moving right along.
Swing.
We're going to stay in the comedy bracket, and the winner of this gets a 15 seed.
All right.
We've got The Birdcage
That's great.
versus Hook.
Hook. 2 Robin Williams movies you put up.
Two Robin Williams. The Robin Williams grudge match. I know you love Robin Williams.
I do love Robin Williams.
And I think both of these were in our Robin Williams draft.
They're both amazing movies.
Peter and Armand.
Yes. Armand.
Excuse me.
And then you've got Hook.
I said it like a
Shmi.
straight person.
Yeah. Yeah, get with the times, man. Get with the times.
Okay. You got the Birdcage or Hook?
You're gonna dislike it. I
love both of these movies.
I'm going Birdcage, but I know you would go Hook over it. 100%. Yeah.
I would have gone Hook, but you know what? I'm okay with the Birdcage.
I think the Hook is really good as like a nostalgia kind of thing. I think it's kind of like Jumanji, where it's like nostalgia. I love it, but if I watched it brand new today, I probably wouldn't like it as much.
And we're at our last play-in game.
All right.
Our last one. This is the comedy bracket also. Winner of this gets a 12 seed. We've got Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back versus Superbad.
Oh, that's so easy. Jay and Silent Bob. So
Fictional characters.
That's so easy. Look, I love Superbad, but it's not beating Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Absolutely not. Hundo.
I'm with you on that one. I would have picked that too. So sometimes we agree.
Most of these have been easy layups, man.
Most of them. But that's just the play-in game. That's just the
He's
play.
tearing it up. He's ripping the script up.
I'm like
Just toss it in the air. Rip it up.
like Jon Stewart
Yeah.
when he rips things and like scribbles.
Yeah.
Okay. Adam, it's time. We've had the play-in matches.
All right.
We're getting into the tournament itself. Are you ready?
Getting the nitty gritty. I'm ready.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. I am ready.
I don't think you
to
are.
play.
Are you?
Oh, you think I'm not? You think I'm not ready? I'm ready, son.
We're gonna start in the sci-fi bracket. And we're going to open up with a 1 versus 16.
When you're watching March Madness, when this song is playing, isn't that the commentators like talking
Gets me
about?
such a boner.
But like, isn't this period the commentators talking about like, oh, you know, good plays here and yada yada and all this other stuff? Like, we don't just get into it while the song's playing.
Hello, I'm Scott. We're joining you from beautiful West Middlesex,
I'm
Pennsylvania. And I'm joined here with the color commentary. I didn't call you a colored guy. The color commentary, Mr. Adam Silvis. How are we doing today, Adam?
They can tell that I'm not the color.
What a great night for March Madness.
You know, this
movie
is why
bracket.
I love this game. This is why I love this game, and this is why I'm passionate about it.
We're going to have some fun, and our first matchup is a juggernaut, one of your all-time favorites, going up against a lowly comeback, a great one from the 80s that made a huge comeback in the 2020s.
I'm ready.
We're going to go the 1 seed, Terminator 2 Judgment Day versus the David Lynch version of Dune.
Ooh.
Or you could do the new one, because I don't know if you've seen the original.
I didn't see the original.
So go the new one.
Go the new one. All right. So easy layup Terminator 2.
Terminator 2.
That was no challenge at all.
On.
Not that I'm not saying Dune's not good. The Dune movies were good, but like T2,
Yeah.
one of the best openings to any movie ever. Dun 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 dun.
Moving on, we have the 8 versus the 9. And this was a play-in game that snuck in the sci-fi bracket, which I guess you could argue might also make its way into the comedy bracket. But the 8th seed is Back to the Future Part 2.
All right.
It will be taking on a 9 seed, Pitch Black. Vin Diesel, Pitch Black versus Michael J. Fox, Back to the Future Part 2.
That's an interesting bout.
Interesting.
I'm gonna have to go, and I do love the other movie. It is a fantastic movie. I'm not giving it away, as you could tell yet. It's a fantastic movie, but my pick is the one that I have to go. It's a classic. It's lovely. Back to the Future Part 2. Pitch Black is a really good. It's an actual really good Vin Diesel movie. You can't say that about a lot of his movies, but it's an actual really good Vin Diesel movie. But I got to go Back to the Future.
All right, Back to the Future Part 2 moves on in the sci-fi bracket. We're going to move to the next game here. We've got the 5th seed, Mad Max Fury Road.
It's a good one.
Is taking on the 12th seed, The Fifth Element.
Oh,
Oh, baby.
that's tough. Look, Fury Road is great. And Fifth Element is also really good. Oh, this is the first hard one. This is the first toughie.
Yeah.
They all have their really good spots. I would be disappointed in myself if I did not go with this.
He's having a hard time.
It's got to be Fifth Element.
Fifth Element.
It has to be the Fifth Element. Like, I understand how good of a movie Mad Max Fury Road is. It's up there with T2 as a borderline perfect
Something
movie.
about the 12-5 upset happens in the basketball tournament too.
But the Fifth Element, though.
Yep.
The Fifth Element.
All right, moving on. We have the 4th seed, James Cameron's Avatar. That's taking on the 13th seed, Highlander, which we were talking about earlier. Avatar versus Highlander.
They're both really good movies.
Yes, they are.
Both
This isn't going to
really
be
good
easy.
movies.
This isn't going to be easy.
The first round. Those are all layups.
Those were just to get into the tournament.
Avatar versus Highlander. For me.
This is for you.
For me.
You.
It has to be Avatar.
Okay.
For me.
You do love that movie.
I spent when that movie first came out, and by the way, this is like pre-streaming service that we all had and everything like that. Just like when I'm looking for something to watch, I could throw that movie on and then just watch it and then rewatch it again right after. Like, I wasn't one of those weirdos that was like, I'm gonna kill myself because I can't live in this movie universe. I wasn't one of those guys. But I was definitely like, I'm digging this. This
really
is
cool.
This is a really cool ass movie.
Yep. All right.
There's something in Highlander. I think I would have picked Highlander if I liked it more when I was young. I might have done it that way, but because I have affinity for
that would have been a
Avatar,
hard one for me. But hey, we're not doing me. We're doing you. So okay.
I like doing me too.
Moving on. Moving on. The 6th seed, Starship Troopers, takes on the 11th seed, Pacific Rim.
This is a layup.
Okay.
Starship Troopers. It's a layup. Nothing. Look, Pacific Rim. This show. How many times have we talked about Starship Troopers in this podcast? Like a lot of this podcast is that Pacific Rim is great. It ain't no Starship Troopers though. Casper Van Dien. Come on. It ain't none of that. Easy.
Good, easy one. Good. Okay. Now the next one, I've got the 3 seed.
All right.
Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back.
It's a good one.
That one takes on the 14th seed. And some would argue I could have put this with the comedy region, but I went sci-fi. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Easy layup. Star Wars. That's an easy layup. I love Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Not as much as you, obviously. You love it more than I do, but I do love that movie.
The book's better than the movie, but yeah, the movie's still
All right,
good.
Mr. World War Z.
Right.
But yeah, it's got to be Star Wars. Obviously, Empire.
Moving on, we've got the 7th seed, Star Wars: Return of the Jedi, versus the 10th seed, Stargate.
Stargate's really good.
It is.
It's a
It really
good
is.
movie. Is it better than Return of the Jedi?
I know you're not a big Return of the Jedi fan like I am.
I don't hate it. I just hate. I don't even hate the Ewoks. I just hate that the fact that the Ewoks.
I'm having a
beat the
lot of
Empire.
fun with this, by the way.
I'm glad. This thing I'm gonna say about the Ewoks. I don't hate the Ewoks. I just hate that they wrote them that they beat the Empire somehow. That's all I hate about the Ewoks. But Stargate, is it worse than Stargate? Like, I love Stargate. It's a great movie.
Stargate's good.
It's a really good movie. But I'm gonna have to give it to Star Wars again. Like, Stargate's not better than most Star Wars movies.
It's a tough term. Hey, it's tough. It's tough. Got it. All right, here we go. This is the last one in the sci-fi region.
All right.
We've got the 2nd seed, The Matrix, versus the 15th seed, Star Trek: The Wrath of Khan.
Wrath of Khan is really good. Look, a lot of those Star Trek movies suck. A lot of them do. I think I like the J.J. Abrams Star Trek movies more than I like a lot of the older Star Trek movies, even the Next Generation ones. They all kind of suck. But Wrath of Khan.
Wrath of Khan kicks ass.
That fucks hard.
I know how much you love The Matrix.
But like I'm just going through thinking about all the lines Khan says. Like Khan steals that whole fucking movie.
Ricardo Montalban's amazing in that. Yes.
He tests me. I'm giving it to The Matrix though.
Okay.
Wrath of Khan is really good, but I feel like Matrix 1 is actually like an amazing movie.
I would have picked Khan, as you know. I don't love The Matrix like you do, but I like it. But I figured you would take The Matrix.
The first Matrix is really good. The sequels, I can watch them and enjoy them, but they're not good.
Moving on. We're going to the action region. Action. All right. We've got the number 1 seed, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Numero uno.
Versus the 16th seed, which had to play its way in, Inglourious Bastards.
Doing one thing and one thing only. Shit. Killing Nazis.
I banged the mic.
Last Crusade versus Inglourious Bastards. 1v16.
I talked a lot about Inglourious Bastard. I do love that movie, and it's due for a rewatch for me, quite frankly. It doesn't beat Indiana Jones. Not last. Which Indy do you say it was again?
This is Last Crusade.
Last Crusade. Definitely not Last Crusade.
Okay.
No.
Last Crusade. Yep.
I might take Inglourious Bastards over Temple of Doom or any of the recent sequels, but not Last Crusade. Not.
I know how much you love that movie.
Not the Ark.
It's why it's a 1 seed, Adam. It's why it's a 1 seed.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm just getting my thoughts out there. It don't beat that. So
moving on. The 8 seed
name the dog
is Tim Burton, Michael Keaton's 1989 Batman.
That's a good.
Versus the 9 seed, Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers.
See, what you should have done was put 2 Batman movies together. You should put that Batman and then the Christopher Nolan Batman together, and they should have played off.
It doesn't work that way.
I'm just saying.
It's just the way the cookie crumbles.
All right, just the way the
Two Towers versus 89 Batman.
It's 2 Towers, 100%. Look, I love the Tim Burton Batman movies, but when you realize that Batman is only actually in the movie about 15 to 20 minutes of the entire movie, of like an hour and a half to hour and 45-minute movie, you can't unlearn that knowledge, and it kind of ruins it a little bit for me. So 2 Towers, 100%.
Moving on. This next one, I guess this movie could have been in the sci-fi region, but I put it with the action.
That's fine.
I mean,
I will not.
tough. I had a tough time with some of them.
You're the master of games. I don't question the master of games.
I'm the dungeon master right now. So the 5th seed, Independence Day,
It's a good one.
takes on the 12 seed, Avengers: Infinity War.
Infinity War. Independence Day. It is. I had to think about it for a second, but no. Independence Day is definitely a better movie than Infinity War. Infinity War is a good ass movie. That's a fun movie to watch.
I know you like it.
But
That's why I put it in.
better than Independence Day? No.
I would have gone the same way.
No.
It's a tough one, though. The 4th seed, Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark, versus a movie that had to play its way in here, Twister.
Oh.
Raiders versus Twister.
Indy. 100%. Indy. Absolutely.
The 6th seed, Lord of the Rings: Return of the King, versus the 11th seed, Fight Club.
I loved Fight Club when I first discovered it. I watched it a lot. I was definitely one of those kind of people that was like, we got to take down the system, man. Like, we got to do, his name is fucking whatever. Like, I can't remember the dude's name. So the one that died. Something Paulson or something like that. I can't remember. But I was definitely one of those guys that was like, we got to take down this fucking, I'm playing the stock markets now. Clearly I'm not taking the fucking system down. I'm going Return of the King. Absolutely 100%. It in no world does that beat Fight Club. I'm sorry.
Fair enough. Moving on, we got the 3 seed, Saving Private Ryan.
Saving Ryan's Privates.
That's a different movie. That's a different bracket.
That's in the horde bracket.
You said it right too.
I did.
Okay.
I know the difference.
The 3 seed Saving Private Ryan versus the 14th seed Django Unchained.
Oh, shit. Here's the thing. Django Unchained might be my favorite Quentin Tarantino movie. I love the idea of a former slave just fucking a bunch of white supremacist slave owners up. I love that idea so much, and I love it.
And one thing only. Killing Nazis.
We didn't have a Django sound.
I know. But what was the first movie?
Saving Private Ryan.
But Saving Private Ryan, though, that's my favorite war movie of all time. I just watched it like last month. That movie is so good. I fucking Niagara Falls, Freddy. That I tear up watching that movie. It's got to be Saving Private Ryan, dude. It has to be. I love Django Unchained, but it doesn't beat. No.
Moving on. I'm having so much fun. You're really struggling with this.
I'm glad that I'm having a hard time.
This is good content.
Joy.
Okay, moving on. The 7th seed, Pirates of the Caribbean: Curse of the Black Pearl, versus the 10 seed, the 300.
300.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just talking. We just watched 300
We did.
a couple weeks ago.
I thought you were saying the 3 without hesitation.
No.
Curse of the Black Pearl, 300.
I don't like Pirates of the Caribbean as much as you like
you
Pirates
don't.
of the Caribbean. But Curse of the Black Pearl is a really...
Curse of the Black Pearl's good.
And the CGI still holds up today. Like whenever...
It's from 2003.
And the final battle scene, whenever they're fighting, it's him and Barbossa fighting, and they keep going in and out of the light, and it's going from skeleton
We agree
to
with
human.
all the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. The original's the best.
Yes,
right?
it is.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. Does it beat out 300, though? 300 is such a fun movie to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just 300 is just balls to the wall, just testosterone. Ah! I'm going 300, dude.
300?
Now, when I'm thinking about it, like, of the 2 movies, if you gave me the 2 movies, hey, what are you in the mood to watch right now? I'd be like, dude, 300 is just fun. It's just a fun movie to watch.
Just recently watched it, too. Yeah.
It's just fun.
Good.
There's no controversy. There's no, like, long-standing... There's no love story.
I don't think
it's just action.
With all these movies I put, there's no wrong answer, really. They're all great.
No,
they're
all
good
great.
enough to make this tournament.
But like 300 is just nothing
right.
but action. It's mindless action for the sake of action.
And this is the action bracket.
Yeah.
So, speaking of the action bracket, we got our last one here. The 2 seed, The Godfather Part 1,
That's a good one.
versus the 15th seed, The Rock.
I'll be honest with you. I would argue Godfather Part 1 being an action movie in general.
Yeah, it's not, but
I would argue that.
Where else
I'd
would
argue
it
that's
fit?
drama.
I don't have a drama region.
I know. I'm just saying. If anything, I'd put it in the drama
There's
category.
some action. They shoot guns at people.
Fair enough.
Okay, I told you.
Fair enough.
The regions are ambiguous, okay?
That's the only
The regions are ambiguous. I know it wasn't going to be in sci-fi, Adam.
I know.
It's not a comedy.
So, Godfather Part 1 is a better movie than The Rock. For the sake of the category, though, I'm going for The Rock because that is an actual action movie. My argument for my opinion of the Godfather not being an action movie.
A 15-2 upset is huge right now.
Yeah.
I'm a little wet. That is a great... This is why we watch these games. This is why they play them. That is a huge upset.
If you put them both in drama category, Godfather wins hands down. If you just say which is a better movie, Godfather wins hands down. But we're not in the better movie
This is Adam's
category.
bracket. It's whatever he wants to pick.
This is the action bracket.
Okay.
And there's a ton more action in The Rock.
We're going to move on from the action bracket.
All
We're
right.
done with it. We're going to move on to comedy.
Comedy. Down.
And this is where things get a little weird because in the sci-fi bracket, we had Back to the Future Part 2.
I'm going to have such a hard time making TikToks out of these.
Should we do something different?
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
No, you're fine.
Okay. The number 1 seed in the comedy bracket is Back to the Future Part 1. A little, see what I did there?
I see what you did there. And I'm not going to argue. It's comedy.
Versus the 16th seed that played its way in Kevin Smith's Dogma?
It's Dogma. 100% Dogma.
A 16v1
It's
upset.
Dogma. It's Dogma. 100%.
Oh, the third time ever.
I laugh more with Dogma than I do with Back to the Future Part 1.
Wow.
I love Back to
Wow.
the Future Part 1, but it's not beating Dogma for me.
Huge upset.
You're talking to a Kevin Smith fanboy. You know, I admit my fandom, so.
All right, next one. The 8th seed, and this is one of the ones I wasn't sure. I think you've seen it, but I'm not sure. If not, I'm going to chorus of this to you. The 8th seed, Blues Brothers.
Oh, of course I've
I
seen
thought
that.
so. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Okay, it's
I
great.
think I just watched it within this past year.
Good. The 8th seed is Blues Brothers. It's taking on the 9 seed, My Cousin Vinny.
That's fucking hard. That's tough. I know the one I'm going to pick, but it's really,
They're both
really
really good.
hard. I have to go with My Cousin Vinny. I have to go. Nothing against Blues Brothers. Such a fucking funny movie. One, if you love dry humor, especially, it's so good. But My Cousin Vinny, come on.
Okay, the next one. We've got the 5th seed, the Royal Tenenbaums, taking on the 12th seed that had to play its way in, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
James Silent Bob Strike Back.
Ooh, without hesitation.
Yeah, without hesitation. Look, Royal Tenenbaums, you courses them with me a long time ago, and I did watch it and I did enjoy it, but I'm not as big of a fan of that as Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Fair. That's what we do the
So,
tournament.
Yeah.
All right, next one is the 4th seed, The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, versus the 13th seed, which I could argue could have been in the action region, but I put it in the comedy because it's got elements of both action and comedy. The 13th seed, Bad Boys.
Again, this is easy. Life Aquatic.
Oh.
100%. Life Aquatic. And there's nothing against Bad Boys, but I'm not as big of a fan of that movie as you are. I do like it, but you are a bigger fan of that movie, but it's got to be Life Aquatic. Got to be.
All right, moving on. 6th seed.
How many times have we made the Leeches reference on this fucking show?
Yeah, right.
All the time.
I know.
Am I the one that got hit? What?
The 6th seed, Groundhog Day,
Bill Murray.
versus the 11th
Another Bill Murray, yeah.
versus the 11th seed that had to play its way in, Wayne's World.
Oh, that's
Stairway. Denied.
tough. That's tough.
No stairway. Denied.
I love both those movies.
Groundhog Day versus Wayne's World.
I know how to fix that problem, by the way, so I'll fix it for next time. But, oh, man, that's tough. That's tough. It's going to be Groundhog Day, though. It's going to be Groundhog Day. I love Wayne's World, but it's not beating Groundhog Day. Not a chance.
All right, moving on to the next one. We've got the 3 seed, another Bill Murray, Ghostbusters, versus the 14th seed. Wow, this one's low. What I was thinking. Spaceballs.
Spaceballs.
Ghostbusters versus Spaceballs.
I'm giving it to Ghostbusters. I'm not disappointed in the pick, but Spaceballs is not the best Mel Brooks movie. It's a good one. It's funny. I do love it, but it's not beating Ghostbusters. Absolutely not.
Okay, so you said that.
Are you a god? No.
You said that Spaceballs wasn't the best Mel Brooks movie. Okay, that's fair. So we're moving on here. The 7th seed, Blazing Saddles,
You found the best Mel Brooks movie.
versus the 10th seed, which I could have put in sci-fi, but I put in a comedy, Men in Black.
It is a comedy.
There's sci-fi elements.
Yeah, obviously it's a sci-fi movie. It's about, the Men in Black. They
I had
hunt
trouble
aliens
with
and
some
stuff
of
like
them.
that. No,
I had trouble with some of
No,
them.
that's understandable.
I went comedy
Just like
for this one.
Back to the Future is a comedy. It's also a sci-fi movie,
Correct.
but it's also a comedy. I'm not
It
arguing.
was harder than you think. So we've got Blazing Saddles versus Men in Black.
Men in Black ain't beating Blazing Saddles.
Okay.
Absolutely not. No, I love Men in Black. That's like the prime era of Will Smith trying to double up on his acting and music career, but Blazing Saddles is so much funnier.
All right, now we're at our last one in the comedy bracket. Boy, when you didn't chop these up for TikToks, you got your work cut out for you.
I know how I'm going to do it. Don't worry about
All right.
it. I've already figured it out.
The last one for the comedy bracket here is the second seed, Clerks, versus the 15th seed that had to play its way in, The Birdcage.
I love the Birdcage. It's not beating Clerks. It's not beating Clerks. I'm sorry.
They're just happy to be here.
Again,
they came against a buzzsaw tonight.
I'm Kevin Smith fanboy. It's Clerks all the way.
Fair. And that's it for the comedy bracket.
All right.
We're moving on. The final region of the Adam March Madness movie bracket. We've got horror.
All right.
And this first one, I'm so proud of myself for pairing these two movies up. And
I'm proud of you for making this whole game, getting this set up. This is great.
I'm having so much fun with this. So I'm so proud of myself for pairing these two movies up in the first round because I had to do it because I wanted them to meet. And I know what you're going to pick, but it just had to be done. The 1 seed is Alien.
Yeah.
The 16th seed is Predator. Alien versus Predator. Now, we've seen 2 movies where they actually fight.
It's clever.
But forget this.
It's clever.
This is the first Alien movie versus the first Predator movie. You pick it.
Predator does not beat Alien. It does not.
Although Predator is very good.
It's very good.
Alien's on a whole new...
It is.
Yeah.
If you're going to pick a Alien type horror movie, you're going to go with Alien, the classic.
All right, moving on. This next one, I had trouble with this one. It could have been horror, could have been sci-fi, could have been action, but I threw it in horror. It's the 8th seed. I'm going Cloverfield, the original.
I'd buy it, horror. Yeah.
It's taking on a movie that you just recently watched. I had you watch it for Coercive, and it was another hit. I loved how much you loved this movie. The 9th seed is Phantoms. Affleck was the bomb in Phantoms, yo. So we got Cloverfield versus Phantoms.
Did sneak up on me a little bit. It wasn't coercive. We just watched it.
We just watched it for fun?
Yeah, it was pre when we went back to coercive. We were just sitting here one night.
We had such a good time
we were just
watching
sitting here
that.
one night, and you were like, "Have you seen Phantoms?" Like, no. I was like, "You gotta go see Phantoms," and we just found it and just started watching.
We just had such a fun time.
And I was on the edge of my seat, like you. When I was watching, I was sitting on the couch, like, this movie's so fucking good.
I've seen
like,
that
I'm
movie.
surprised.
I've seen that movie so many times. I had fun watching you watch that movie for the first time.
I'm gonna pick Phantoms just because of the joy that we had watching it together and the surprise of it. Cloverfield is a really good movie. It's a really good movie.
It is.
But Affleck was the bomb in Phantoms.
Cloverfield caught me off guard. We were talking about the 300 earlier.
Yeah.
Sorry, I digress a little bit here. But when I went to, I told you the story about how I went with Mike D to see the 300. I had no intention of going, and then it just melted my face off.
Yeah.
How good I was like, it was one of those movies I didn't expect it to be that awesome.
Yeah.
Same thing. I went to see Cloverfield with my brother-in-law, like, and our cousin who was like from California, who was home for the holidays, and they just wanted to go to the movie theater, and like, what are we gonna see? How about this Cloverfield? Like, no intention of it being that freaking amazing.
Yeah,
like it was so.
It was
good.
really good.
Oh man, but
it was,
yeah,
it was able to take the found footage genre and push it out of like the traditional horror element of like, you know, ghosts and stuff like that. And it was like, no, we could do a lot more of the found footage genre.
Yeah,
that was good. Next one, sir. We're on to the next
one. Next one. In the horror genre, we've got the 5 seed. Silence of the Lambs.
That's a good one.
Versus the 12 seed. This is kind of a stretch to be in the horror genre, but I didn't know where to put.
I'll be the judge of that, sir.
Snakes on a Plane. Silence of the Lambs versus Snakes on a Plane.
I'll give you the horror genre.
Thank you.
I'll give it to you.
I appreciate that.
But it doesn't beat Silence of the Lambs.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
Hello,
Again,
Clarice.
I want to sneak some zombies by you because I like zombies
Again,
a lot more.
I'm going to say it for the 50 billionth time. I don't hate zombies. I hate new zombie movies because the genre's played out.
Well, these aren't new. I love, this is one of my favorite directors of all time. And I know you're just lukewarm, which is fine. But I wanted to, you can't have horror without George Romero.
No.
And I wanted to get him into the next round, so I did a thing. I did the 4th seed Night of the Living Dead versus the 13th seed Dawn of the Dead. But to change things up, I made it the 04 Dawn of the
remake.
Dead, the Ving Rhames, and yeah, because that one's kind of cool.
That kicks ass.
It kicks ass,
That movie
right?
kicks ass.
Yeah, and it's the original from '78. It just updates it.
Yeah.
You know, so
It's based the same movie.
it's the same movie, just in a newer mall. So you've got the 1968 Night of the Living Dead versus the 2004 Dawn of the Dead.
If you gave me the choice of two movies, which would you rather watch? I'm gonna go with Dawn of the Dead. Nothing. Look. I understand Night of the Living Dead. I understand it birthed the zombie genre, and it's really crazy to be there at the epitome, like the start of a new genre of type of movie. It's
What
really
a time
weird.
to be alive, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, like, I will give Night of the Living Dead all the props for it, but Dawn of the Dead is a lot more fun.
Adam, it was 1968.
Yeah.
It was in the middle of the civil rights movement.
Yeah.
Middle of the Vietnam War.
It had a
George
black
Romero-
main character that kicked ass.
George Romero from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania said, I'm going to make the hero of this story a black man.
And he kicks all the ass. in that
Yes, he
movie.
does.
He absolutely does.
Like no one did it before that. It is such an important movie.
It is. It is a massively important movie. But Dawn of the Dead 04 is a lot more fun to watch. Is what it is. It's a lot more fun.
Hey, this is
lot more action
Adam's
involved
pick
in
here.
it. So
Okay. Next round here. This is so good. So we've got this one could have been, I put it in horror, could have been action, could have been comedy even. The 6th seed, The Mummy with Brendan Fraser. Because the Mummy's horror. Come on, Mummy's horror. Oh, you're giving me dirty looks.
it's a stretch.
Okay.
That one's a stretch.
The Mummy's at 6. And I've got, this one's also kind of a stretch, but it's a Stephen King. So the movie itself might not be horror, but it's Stephen King. He's the king of horror. Shawshank Redemption. The Mummy versus Shawshank Redemption. Don't give me that look.
There's nothing horror about Shawshank Redemption.
Stephen King wrote it.
That doesn't matter. There's nothing horror about Shawshank Redemption. There's other than him getting raped in the fucking back in that one room. There's nothing horrible.
Psychological horror.
Not even that.
Whatever, make your pick.
It's the Mummy.
It's the Mummy.
It's the Mummy.
Do you like the Mummy more than Shawshank? They're great movies, both of them.
I think because I like Brendan Fraser, I like the Mummy more probably. And
We'll talk about Brendan Fraser
it's
later.
also a lot more fun than Shawshank Redemption. Shawshank Redemption is really good, but it's really depressing sometimes.
yeah.
So
Okay. All right. All right. We've got the 3 seed Jaws
all right.
versus the 14th seed that played its way in here 28 days later.
20 days later. Here's why.
Over Jaws.
Yeah, here's why. I don't give Jaws as much props as everybody else does. I understand why people like Jaws. I don't give that movie as much props. I think it's kind of boring. It's not.
Oh my.
Again though,
Oh my.
I think like what year did Jaws come out?
70.
I think if in the 70s,
I don't know. 77.
mid 70s.
It came out before Star Wars, a year before.
Okay, I would
73?
say if I would have watched that movie then I would be scared of it. But now, like I watched Hellraiser before I watched Jaws. That movie, to me, Jaws is kind of boring. I understand the suspense element of we can't show the shark early on. We got to keep the suspense. I get it. Yada yada yada. It didn't grab me. It didn't grab me at all.
That's a lot of yada yadas.
Yeah, it is. 100%.
Okay. That's another big upset. That's a 14-3. That's why we play the games, folks. All right, so this next one could have been a comedy, but I put it with horror. The 7th seed is Beetlejuice.
I'll give you horror.
And it's taking
ghosts,
on
dead people.
It's a classic Halloween. So
Yeah.
it's taking on the 10th seed, which played its way in here, Running Man, which is Stephen King, and I would argue is more actiony than horror.
Just because somebody's known for doing a genre doesn't mean that everything they do is that genre, by the way. Just saying. Just saying.
I just like Stephen King a lot.
I do too.
And he did Shawshank and Running Man, and they're not
I think
typical.
you should just put it in place of Running Man because that's more horror than
Running Man more than it.
I like Running
Do you
Man
like
more
Running
than
Man more than it?
Yes,
I do too.
but Running Man's not a horror. I threw you the props for it. But
one of the-
Beetlejuice, it's going to be Beetlejuice
All right,
first.
Beetlejuice.
Of all. It's going to be
I probably would have
Beetlejuice.
picked Beetlejuice too.
Not Beetlejuice 2. The first
Beetlejuice. I
1.
would have picked Beetlejuice also.
Yes.
Hey, and we got our last one, and I'm sad to end this because I'm having such a good time. Tune in next week for the round of 32. And I hope you don't give me crap for this not being horror because there's a lot of action in it. The book is most definitely a horror. The movie, they tamed it down a little bit, but there's definitely elements of suspense that I would say make it horror. And there's a video game that recently came out based on this that is most definitely a horror video game.
Okay.
But I'm putting the 2 seed Jurassic Park versus the 15 seed Stephen King The Shining.
Which version of The Shining? Remember there's 2
I
versions?
knew you were going to say
Remember
that.
there's 2
You
versions?
know what? Whichever one you want.
Okay. So I'm not going to give you shit about Jurassic Park.
has
I'm not gonna
suspense,
give,
right?
Yes, I'm not going to get horror doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be supernatural.
Steven Spielberg did Jurassic Park.
Yes.
You didn't give me shit for Jaws.
No.
The same
Yeah.
suspense
Yeah.
elements are both of them.
It does just because
did
something
Jaws
is a
also.
horror movie doesn't mean there has to be supernatural elements involved. Absolutely not. This is a science element involved.
Could have been sci-fi, I guess. Yeah.
Science. I'm going with Jurassic Park. The Shining's a really good movie, but like Jurassic Park holds a special place in my heart, 100% over that. So,
Adam, we did it. You did it. You made the first round.
yeah.
I'm excited. Next week, we got to do the next round. We're going to have a champion. We're going to have the first ever March Madness movie champion.
I'm excited.
This was fun.
I love this bit. I really do love this game.
Took up like an hour of the show. We don't have to do anything else.
No, we don't. No. So basically we're just going to do our bits. So next we're going to do we have a draft now that we got to do.
Oh shit, yeah.
You forgot about the draft?
about the
You
draft.
forgot about the draft? Tell you what, we're going to do this draft and maybe let's take a break from drafts while we do the brackets.
Sounds good.
How about we do that? We could also skip the draft if you want and just save it for when the brackets are over. That doesn't matter.
I got
'Cause
a
remember
list.
we didn't announce the draft last time, so it's not like people are expecting anything. So
Well, you announced the draft now, so now we'll do it.
All right.
I can put together something on the fly.
fair enough. Do you not have your list?
I have a
Did you-
semblance of a
Did you
list.
not make? All right, let's put it off.
No, I got it. I got it.
You got it?
I got
'Cause
it.
I got a whole list of.
You take first
It's the
pick.
no, I was going to give you first pick.
All right, I'll take first
Because
pick.
I think I had first pick last time, maybe. I don't remember. But this is the. They don't know what we're drafting, by the way. The candy bar draft.
We're drafting different candies.
And we talked about it last week, and we think it's better if we stick to more of the traditional chocolatey candy bars as opposed to all candies.
You don't want sugary, fruity candies? Like,
No, the reason why I think if we condense, and I think you agreed with me a little bit last week, I think if we condense the draft down a little bit, it's more fun if we have to battle each other. If we expand it to all candies, there's no risk of like, hey, you took the one that I wanted.
I got to be honest. I'm a chocolate candy bar kind of guy.
Same.
If I'm drafting mine, it's all going to be chocolate anyway.
Probably the same for me.
Yeah. So
But there are some free ones I like.
there's some I like.
I love a jelly bean. I love a jelly bean.
You're a jelly bean guy,
Oh, I
huh?
love jelly
like a
beans.
Jelly Belly?
No, just
Jelly Belly jelly beans. That's like the OG company, right?
yeah. I mean, they're all the same basically.
Okay.
But I do love.
So
a good
you're
jelly
looking
bean.
forward to Easter. Like jelly beans, I think of Easter.
I don't eat as much candy as I used to.
Look at you slimming down.
It's sugar, man. Sugar's the enemy.
It's
and
my drug.
I know. I had to beat the demon back, and I won.
Meanwhile,
I
we're
fought
drinking
the,
rum.
I fought the demon.
What's
There's
rum
a lot
distilled
of sugar.
from?
It's a lot of sugar in there.
It's literally distilled sugar cane.
But it's the weekend, Scott. Pour me, sir. Pour
Tell me when.
when. It's the weekend.
frickin'
The weekend
weekend.
doesn't count. The diets don't count on the weekend. That's why I got a box of pizza sitting out there.
Oh.
So,
Well,
oh man,
we're drafting our favorite candies.
I don't have enough pop. This is gonna be a strong one.
Well,
That's got I
No,
can't. I
no.
can't add sugar on sugar.
can't have sugar and sugar.
No.
Okay. Well.
So we're drafting candies. You take the first pick, sir. Even when I fix it, it fucks up.
With the first pick of the let's call it candy bar draft.
I know what you're going for, too.
You do?
I think so.
You think so?
Yeah.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
Kit Kat.
Really? That's
Taking
your...
the Kit Kat.
Oh, okay, that's on my list, but I didn't think that was the one you were going to go for.
I was debating between two, and I wonder if you're going to take the other one.
I think I'm going to take the other one, yeah.
Okay.
Kit Kat's good. That's a really good one.
Kit Kat's one of my...
If I'm not in the mood for the first pick I'm going to take, Kit Kat is my second choice, 100%.
I was debating between two, and now I'm like...
You're regretting
But
your
you know
choice?
what? You know what? You got the first overall pick. You take the best available. For me, if I'm going to a store, a convenience store, and you've got like, oh, Hallelujah Chorus light shines on the entire aisle of candy, what am I picking? 9 times out of 10, this is the bad boy. Hey, yo.
That's strong.
I'm taking Kit Kat.
Kit Kat.
Book it.
Kit Kat's good. It's very good.
The pick is in.
Pick is in. For my number pick, I'm taking Reese's.
Which Reese's?
Reese's Peanut Butter Cup.
You took the peanut butter cup. That was my other one.
Reese's Peanut
Good
Butter
pick.
Cup.
Good pick.
Do you know, sidebar, do you know how many fucking different types of Reese's products that exists out there? It might be the one candy that's expanded out to just so there's like Reese's, there's like M&M Reese's, there's Reese's cereal, there's Reese's
M&M
actual
is not
bars.
Reese's. M&M is the M&M Mars company.
No, but there are Reese's.
Reese's Pieces?
That's basically Reese's M&Ms.
Yeah, they're called Reese's Pieces though.
But I'm
Show some
saying,
damn respect to my
they've-
number 2 pick that's about to come. I'm taking the Reese's Pieces.
Are you really taking
Yes!
Reese's Pieces?
Heck yeah, bro. Reese's Pieces is the GOAT. It's the GOAT. Show some respect. Put some respect on its name. The Reese's Pieces.
They're not better than the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup.
They're not.
No.
They're not. And that's fair to say. But you got the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. I had to take the Reese's Pieces at the number 2. I'm good with that. But did you know Hershey's owns the Reese's company?
Yes.
You know, I have a great story about this. Have you ever been to Hershey, Pennsylvania?
No.
It's only a few hours away from us, but I've been there a few times. I did a Hershey chocolate tour. Sorry, I digress, folks. So there was a guy named John Reese. You know what he did? He worked for the Hershey's Candy Company. He worked at the Hershey plant, making Hershey bars, all the Hershey chocolates. Homeboy developed the peanut butter cup. He goes, I'm going to pitch this to my boss, Milton Hershey, who was like a billionaire in like the 1900s. Like, I'm going to he went into his office. Guess what, Milton Hershey?
No.
He didn't like peanut butter.
Peanut butter so
Peanut butter slaps. Peanut
I
butter
have
slaps.
a peanut butter problem right now. I don't keep sidebar to
peanut butter problem.
sidebar to your sidebar. I don't keep peanut butter in this apartment because I first of all I don't keep snacks in this department. Period. Unless it's like the weekend, I might have like a little snack just for that. But because I know me, I'm gonna overeat. And so that's why I don't buy bread, because I know I'm going to take bread and be like, I'm going to make a peanut butter sandwich. I stopped buying bread. And then my fucking fat ass discovered, hey, what if I just take a spoonful of fucking peanut butter and stick it in my mouth?
And all of a sudden,
now
you
I don't. So now,
wake up from sugar comatose, and there's an empty peanut butter jar.
so now I.
And you look like you were eating ass.
Yeah.
I've done it. I'm not knocking it. I've been there.
Dude, the problem's real, man. So I don't keep peanut butter in the house. And the problem is my sister moved out of her apartment recently and she was getting rid of stuff. And she had this big, fat fucking jar of peanut butter that is sitting in my cupboard now. And I've had a problem this past week because it's the end of the night. And I'm like, kind of hungry. I don't want to eat anything. I could just take a spoonful of peanut butter, and it's become a problem again. I'm like a meth addict, and he's got like a fucking just crystal meth just sitting in his cover right now. Peanut butter's a problem.
Yeah, peanut butter.
It's a problem.
So Milton
Back to your story.
Milton Hershey did not like peanut butter. So he told John Reese to kick rocks. John Reese was taking no for an answer. So he went to his garage. He lived in Hershey, Pennsylvania. He developed the Reese's Candy Company in his garage of his house and started making peanut butter cups.
Dude, that's classic America right there.
like that's like, and
You can't do that today.
It became huge. Well, several years later, it was too big to Hershey to look the other way, and they're like, okay, we can't have two of the biggest candy companies in this tiny little Pennsylvania town. So they ended up buying him out. And
was the douchebag still alive? The one that was like, no, I don't like peanut
I'm
butter.
not sure. I'm not sure if he was still alive.
He sounds like an old person. He's like,
But
no, I don't like peanut
that's
butter.
the story behind the Reese's peanut butter. I thought that was such a cool story. And now Reese's is part of the Hershey company, but it still has its own branding. That was part of the deal. He would sell. He goes, I'll sell to you, but you're not going to call it Hershey Peanut Butter Cup.
No.
It's going to stay Reese's Peanut Butter
Yeah,
Cup.
that's his name, dude.
Owned by the Hershey's company. Yeah. So that's
Absolutely. Dude, respect on the name, man.
respect. So I'm taking with my number 2 pick, the Reese's Pieces. You're up, number 2.
Dude, easy choice. M&M's.
Hit the button.
Don't worry.
What's your pick?
I'll edit that out of the TikTok.
Sure.
Easy peasy M&M's. Peanut M&M's specifically, but M&M's. I love if I'm not in the mood for like a traditional like candy bar kind of thing, like a Kit Kat or Reese's, stuff like that, but I want like a little handful of stuff. M&M's over Reese's Pieces. I'll be honest with you. M&M's over Reese's Pieces. But like I'm not a major fan of the classic chocolate M&M's. It's got to be the peanut ones. When I was a kid, I did this weird thing where, because you're fucking bored and shit like that, because you got nothing to do, you don't have an iPhone or anything like that just sitting in your pocket. If I had a bag of M&M's just sitting at the laundromat while my grandmother's doing laundry, I would just like crack open the shell and just like eat the M&M's and then eat the peanut after it, because you're fucking bored when you're a kid. But I did that a lot, and I love me some M&M's. Fucking delicious.
M&M's are good. That's a good pick. It's a good pick. Moving on to my number 3.
Numero
I'm stuck between 2, but I think I know which one I'm going to take, and I hope you don't take the next one because I'm going to take it after this. The pick is in. I'm going Nestle's Crunch.
It was on my list, but it was not going to be in my top 5 unless I needed it to be. So
It's something about a crisp rice.
it's not bad. It's not bad at all.
Crisp rice really, really bangs. I think so. I'm a big fan. It's one of the ones I would pick. I'm going with my 3rd pick.
It's
Nestle's Crunch.
It's not a bad pick at all.
And you know, in that same genre, Hershey's has their version.
Yeah.
It's the Crackle Bar. They don't make full-size Crackle Bars anymore. They make them in like the fun size. And that's bullshit. I want a full-size Crackle Bar. It tastes just as good, if not better, than a Nestle Crunch. But they don't make full-size anymore. Hershey, if you're listening to this, make a full-size Crackle Bar.
Side
You'd
note-
be on this list instead.
Side note for all you candy eaters out there, I did discover this recently. If you go to Dollar General to get your candy, they've got like the normal candy sitting at the register too. But in the candy aisle that they have back there, where you find like the jelly beans, stuff like that, they have those like packets of like candy bars that are cheaper than the candy you get at the register and volume significantly more. So you're paying more at the register just because it's at the register.
Let's take a look at that.
Yeah, next time you like even I'm talking about the Dollar General specifically down here in West Melissa. If you go down there and go to like the aisle of jelly beans, they've got those like individual packets of like, you know, Reese's peanut butter cups, and they're like the little Reese's, but there's a lot more of them in there for a cheaper
More
price.
bang for your buck.
Yeah, basically. So
Oh, that's good. That's good
so
advice.
if you're trying to save
Yeah.
money, man, go to that aisle. I'm telling you.
advice.
All right, so my number 3, numero 3 for me is I got my own wafer pick. I'm going with the Twix. I'm going with the Twix, sir.
Really? That was the other one.
Two
That was it.
Hey, 2 for me, none for you, sir.
That was it. Son of a biscuit. I was debating between the Twix and the Crunch Bar.
I was never going to pick Crunch. You could have taken Twix.
Unbelievable. How good is Twix,
It's
though?
so good, right?
How good is Twix?
At one point, it was my favorite candy bar. Like, I was absolutely... And maybe because I'm like a dumb kid mind, I was like, there's 2 bars in here, where a Snickers bar, there's only 1 bar. Clearly, it's superior.
Damn.
Dude, Twix is really good. You know what I discovered about myself when I was going through this list? I don't like things that are just straight chocolate. It's got to be chocolate plus. You know, Reese's chocolate plus peanut butter.
You're telling me
M&Ms.
that the Hershey bar, the classic Hershey bar, is not on your list? Because it's the OG and it's good.
Daddy doesn't tell his list yet. I'll let you know later.
Fair.
But like me personally, if I'm taking a candy bar of any kind, I like chocolate plus. Straight chocolate, I'm not saying it's not good, but it's too much. It's just kind of too much for me. It's like eating like a fudge thing or something like that, like a little like fudge cube or anything. It's just too much
I
chocolate.
can't believe you took Twix.
Twix, two for me, none for you, sir.
Are you a left Twix guy or a right Twix guy?
Righty.
I see. I'm left, so we can split a Twix.
No, we can't.
Oh,
Two
we
for me,
can't.
none for
Oh, we
you.
can't. Okay.
Two for me, none for you.
All right, moving
All
on to
right,
me. This is
moving
my
on.
number 4 pick in the candy draft. Snickers.
That was on my list.
Since
A
you
little lower, but it was on my list.
Since you just took the one I wanted, I'm gonna go Snickers, and I do love a good Snickers. It's packed with peanuts and nougat.
It's good. It's
good.
It's the classic candy
It
bar.
is. It is a good
it's
one.
The classic.
I do love a Snickers. I want to know what the world was like when Snickers was introduced. Like, did people's mind explode?
I must.
What is nougat? What
I
is
don't know. I've never
like,
heard of it outside of a candy bar concept.
It's a ground up nut paste, like, but it's delicious. And there's actual other peanuts along with the ground up nut paste, and there's caramel, and a Snickers is just good. It's good. I feel like Twix. You know how much protein is in a Twix bar? Because peanuts have a lot of protein.
yeah.
There's a good amount of protein in a Snickers bar. They tell like
What's the peanuts in there that's creating most of the
it's
protein?
peanuts. It's
Yeah.
peanuts. It's not the chocolate. It's not the sugar. It's not the chocolate. Sugar burns so easily. It's not good for you.
No.
But the peanuts with the protein are pretty good.
Peanuts are really good, but they are a caloric heavy sort of meal, so like they're only good in small doses.
Snickers bar is like if a diabetic's going into low sugar, like that's a good thing to eat.
Yeah, my grandmother used to keep like a candy bar
Yeah.
in her fridge all the time because she had diabetes. She used to keep like a candy bar handy in case like her sugar dropped or something like that.
My 4 pick.
The nougat in a Snickers bar is a soft, chewy, and slightly aerated candy made from a mixture of sugar, corn syrup, egg whites, and salt. That is what nougat is.
There's no nuts in it at all. I guess not.
No.
Wow.
Nougat's a separate thing. So.
I was today years old when I learned
That's
that.
according to AI. So thank you, AI, for that.
I
one.
do love a good nougat.
Nougat's not bad. Not bad. All right, so we're on to my number 4, sir. I'm going with this. I have no idea if this is going to be on your radar. You probably thought about it. I don't know if it's on your list. I'm going with a Take 5. I do like me a Take 5.
Take 5 is good.
Take 5. It's basically a Snickers without the nougat, I think. It's just a chocolate bar with peanuts in it is what it is. That's kind of what it is. But there was a period of time where, like, first of all, I do love Take 5s. It does the same thing Twix does, where it makes you feel like you have more candy than it actually does because it splits it up into 2. There's 2 little bars in that one package, so it makes you feel like you're eating more without actually eating more. So it's good psychologically if you're like in a candy mood, but you don't want to like you're on a diet or something like that. But like Take 5 is just like a really good kind of candy bar. I like it.
Take 5 is very good.
It is.
I didn't have that on my short list, but we're getting into the uncharted waters here.
We are, yes.
Like I think the first couple, you scooped me not once but twice, and it's only 5 picks.
Yeah.
And I'm not happy about that. So
I'm now wondering like
I've
what
got-
you're gonna pick now.
I've got 1 pick, and it's between 2. And I'm just gonna do this because I know this probably isn't on your. It's an obscure one, but. Taking the Bueno bar.
Bueno bar.
Do you even know what that is?
I have no idea what that is.
Okay. I discovered it was huge when I went down to Mexico on vacation years ago. It was everywhere in Mexico. And Kristen, my wife, bought one at a convenience store. And she was like, this might be the best candy bar I've ever had. Are you familiar with the Kinder eggs?
Yes.
Kinder makes Bueno bar.
Okay.
It's the same company, the Kinder company. I think it's it might be a European company. I don't know where Kinder's from. but I do know that the Kinder Egg was banned in America because it used to have the little
toys in there,
It was
yeah.
like in the chocolate.
American kids are too stupid.
And
to
kids were
open it
just
up.
like, I'm a fat American. Blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah.
kids are just
and
too
they were
dumb
just
to
like
open it
choking
up.
on
Yeah.
so they had to like separate the toy from the chocolate. Like ridiculous. Like it was like contraband for a while. Like you couldn't get the Kinder Eggs here. Well, because of that, Bueno bars never came to America because the Kinder Egg was killing kids.
Does Bueno bars have
No, it
toys
doesn't.
in them?
It is a chocolate. It is a milk chocolate bar with a wafer. On top of the wafer is Nutella, and it has dark chocolate Nutella drizzle on top of the milk chocolate. It is freaking great. It is freaking amazing, and it finally is everywhere. Like you can go to any store now, and it's here. It has come to America, and it's been here for several years. And I love a good Bueno bar.
All right, fair enough.
So that's my number 5 pick. And I knew it wouldn't be on your radar,
No.
but I wanted it. I wanted it.
So number 5 is hard for me because I don't really give a flying fuck about the rest of these candy bars. If I'm being particularly honest.
So this would be a candy bar like the 4 you've already mentioned would be bought before this one.
100%. Oh, 100%. It's between these two, I guess. If I had to pick, it's between these two, and I'll mention both.
I have a couple I want to mention, my like honorable mentions.
I think I'm going to take this one, though. And I don't know if this is a good idea, but I'm going to take it. I'm going to go classic Butterfinger.
Remember the Simpsons commercials with
Yeah.
Butterfinger? That alone earns them a spot.
It was between that and Milky Way. I wasn't too sure. But classic Butterfinger, I guess, is what I'm going to go with number 5. Not excited about it, but I took all my excited ones. I'm happy with my list. The only thing I'm not happy with
my list.
is Kit Kat. That's the only one that you swiped me on that one. Yeah. The other ones I had in here are just kind of like as short list ones. Payday, Baby Ruth, like I said, Milky Way, and then Hershey's, specifically with almonds. The almond Hershey's.
Those are good.
Those are good.
So there's a couple I want to mention. Are you familiar with Clark Bar?
Yes.
Clark Bar.
I don't like coconut. Not a big.
There's no. You're thinking of Almond Joy.
I'm thinking
or
of you're right,
Mounds.
thinking of Almond Joy,
No.
yes,
I don't like
Mounds.
those at all.
I
I
don't
hate.
I
that.
do know Clark Bar though. I do.
Clark
know,
Bar
yes.
is similar to a Butterfinger, but it was made locally in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It was in the Hocus Pocus movie.
Yeah.
Take your Clark bars, tot face. Yeah. Sorry, that sounded just like her. I love a Clark bar, and they now make them in Altoona, Pennsylvania, and they make like Clark cups, and they're for shit. So it didn't make my top 5, but I do love a Clark bar.
Spread her legs,
Those
she
of
was
you who
all
know
tuna.
know. Also, I wanted to mention Wonka bar, and I'm not talking about the Willy Wonka movie. There was actually a Wonka bar
don't
that
think I've
they
ever had it.
made. They don't make it anymore. And it was just a milk chocolate candy bar with crushed up bits of graham cracker throughout it.
Okay.
So good. I wish they made the Wonka bar again because it was amazing. A couple other ones. I really like Reese's Fast Break. It's like a Reese peanut butter cup in candy bar.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's good. It's good.
I knew they made like a
yeah.
Reese's and candy bar form, but I didn't know.
It's
What it was
instead
called.
of the cup, it's the
Yeah.
same thing. It's the same thing.
Sometimes there's too much Reese's though. Like those Reese's
Oh.
big cups.
Oh,
That's too much.
The ratio of peanut butter to chocolate has to stay
Yes.
correct.
Though I don't know anybody who eats those big cups, but that's too fucking much.
I've seen the big cups that they put Reese's Pieces in the peanut butter. Like, what are they doing? Sometimes less is more, guys.
I'll tell you something that pisses me off. If we're talking about like sweet treats. This ain't pissing me off. One thing I love, completely, going off the rails on this one, those little Debbie snacks. I like a fudge round.
Fudge
I
round's
like
good.
a fudge round.
Fudge round's
the problem
good.
is, like, I don't go to Walmart often, but I go there occasionally.
Sure.
And sometimes I'll be walking up to the register and be like, oh, let me get like a little pack of donuts or something like that. Just something. For a little
Impulse
treat.
buy? Impulse buy.
Impulse buy. And then I see like, oh, you know what? I haven't had a fudge round in a while. And let me look at those. And I look at those. It's those double stacked fudge rounds. That's too much. I would look Walmart. I'm a consumer. if you stop with the double stack and just do the single regular fudge round, I would probably buy a lot more of those.
He would.
Just because that's I haven't had a fudge round in so long. I want one, but like I'm not buying your double stack bullshit. That's too much fudge. That's too much.
I'm talking about Oreos here.
Yeah.
Oreo cookies.
Yes.
You go to the store. What kind of Oreos you buying?
Regular ass Oreos. Regular ass Oreos.
Are you a dunker or are you a twister?
Twister?
You're a fucking twister.
I'm a twister.
My wife, she's a twister too, just like you.
You and my wife. You and your wife and me are just we're really alike.
You twisters can go straight to hell, but she's also a double stuffed
Imagine
buyer.
telling your wife that, like, oh, you go straight.
She
to hell.
knows how I feel about this, okay? This is a problem in our marriage, and it has been, okay? She not only buys double stuffed Oreos, but she twists it, and she licks the cream, and then that's that.
I'll be honest with you. Right, if you ask me now, I'm neither a dunker or a twister. I just put it in my mouth and I eat it these days.
Oh, you're just a savage.
That's
just nonsense.
I'm a caveman.
Listen, she buys double stuffed Oreos because she's a twister.
I'm not fucking with double stuff.
I am a dunker.
I'm not fucking with double
I dunk
stuff.
my Oreo cookie in milk until it's soggy and
I also
disgusting.
don't drink milk either.
And I pop it in there and it just but the regular Oreo, it gets soggy in the milk, where the double stuff, the sogginess isn't, it's a little bit, it's different. I can't explain it. It's different. And I like regular Oreos, soggy dunked in milk. That's me. That's who I am. That's my personality.
Skinny Oreos. Fuck the double stuffed Oreos. Regular ass Oreos. Let me ask you this. Cookies. We're on the cookie talk.
Yeah.
Topic.
I'm-
Chips Ahoy. Not even that. Not even that.
Chips Ahoy's a goat.
Any chocolate chip cookie.
Chocolate chip cookie's a goat.
Hard cookie or soft cookie?
I like them both.
Yes.
I like
but
them both.
There's one that takes precedence over the other.
If I'm just
I know what my answer is.
I think I know what you're going to say. You're going to say soft.
It is.
Because you're just going to eat the cookie.
Soft cookie is amazing.
Yes. And I'm with you. If I'm just going to pick up a cookie and eat it, I want it to be soft, not hard. But America's favorite cookie, the Chips Ahoy, is hard. You dunk it in the milk.
There are soft Chips Ahoy.
There are, and those are good. But I don't like to dunk those in milk. I want a hard OG blue container of Chips Ahoy.
You know what?
You dunk it in the milk till it's soggy and falling apart in your hand, and you pop it in your mouth real quick. Oh,
So
ecstasy.
This isn't the only
Ecstasy.
reason why I like soft cookies, but this is part of it. When I eat cookies, especially like decent sized cookies, like not like massive, but like let's say like big old, like something like this,
Sure,
something like that.
sure.
I like to break it up. Like I won't just take a bite of it. I'll like break off a piece and put it in my mouth.
wouldn't.
That's what I do.
I'm taking it like to the face, like a fat guy would.
Yeah, no.
Just how.
Soft cookies over hard cookies for me personally.
And you know what? I'm okay with soft cookies. If it's a hard cookie, I'm not going to pass it. But I'm
not going to pass a hard cookie.
I need
either.
a tall glass
But
of milk.
If I'm eating let's say I'm eating a chocolate cookie that somebody baked,
Yeah.
and stuff like that, and I pick it up like, oh, this could be good. If I bite into it and it's soft, it's better for me
Yeah.
than if it's hard.
Shout out to Dr. Patrick Lackey and his mom's Mary Jo Lackey
I've
cookies.
tasted those cookies before.
Soft and great.
Oh my god!
My mother, she makes hard chocolate chip cookies. I grew up on the hard chocolate chip cookie. I dunk it in milk and it makes it soft.
Yeah.
And that's okay. I don't know if I want to eat a hard cookie without milk though.
That's fine.
That's the issue.
That's a non-issue because I don't drink milk anyway. Because I've got some lactose intolerance that I've developed in my mid-30s now. So.
You, sir, need to take Lactaid.
No, I just drink almond milk if I have any milk.
Almond.
Yeah, shit lasts for months.
What do you think
Unlike-
about oatmeal raisin?
I can eat it, but I don't prefer it.
Oh, I think it's the devil. I think oatmeal raisin cookies are the devil because they look like chocolate chip cookies.
They're not the best. They do sneak up on you. They do. If I'm biting into a cookie that
for the
think
birds.
is chocolate chip,
for the
and it
birds.
turns out to be oatmeal raisin, I immediately hate it. But if you tell me,
Fuck Nelly, fuck 50.
if you tell me ahead of time this is an oatmeal raisin cookie and I bite into it, I'm like, all right, that's okay. That's okay. It's just okay.
Nah. See how many times I've been somewhere like a get together at like the church. the church, they always have like
Classic oatmeal cookie.
and you go up and like, oh, look at those. Those are some sick chocolate chip cookies. You grab one, you take a bite, and it's oatmeal raisin. What a disappointing first bite.
Where are you on the classic sugar cookie? Where do you sit on that?
I'm lukewarm to the sugar cookie.
My great grandmother used to make sugar cookies. She used to be a baker, and one of the cookies she made was sugar cookie, and I loved them.
My wife, both my kids, they're sugar cookie connoisseurs. I'm not. But around Christmas time, we get together, we make the dough, and we do the the cutouts, and we frost them, and it's fun to make. I like making them more than I like eating them. Give me a chocolate chip cookie over any cookie.
Yes, chocolate chip is the superior
The
cookie.
The goat, and it's not even remotely
Chocolate
close.
chip is the Aryan race of cookies.
Thing and one thing only. Killing Nazis.
I thought
That's what a Nazi would say.
I thought of that joke, and I don't regret saying it. Scott,
Adam,
Core Cinema.
we got to do Course of Cinema yet.
What were you gonna
Okay.
say? Sorry.
We got to do Course of Cinema. This is gonna be a longer show. You know what? I just want to say we haven't talked politics once this show.
That's good. Save for the Patreon.
We're gonna do coercive cinema, and that's gonna end the show.
Yep.
We're gonna finally, after how many episodes, get away with not mentioning someone's
I don't
name.
like talking about politics all the time, but it's the only thing I'm paying attention to right now. That and the stock market.
I
quite
pay
frankly.
attention to candy bars and movies.
After
and-
this week for
and
playing the
March
stock
Madness.
market, I'm up by 2. By the way, just saying. Just saying.
All right, so Course of Cinema. Those of you hopefully watched along with us. Adam and I, the movie he picked for me was a movie that I had been wanting to see for some time now. I think it won Best Picture or was nominated for Best Picture.
I think I don't
Brendan
know.
Fraser won Best
Yes.
Actor for this.
I remember that.
It was a couple years ago. The
2022.
Whale. 2022. The Whale.
It was his return to force to the acting world, essentially, is what it was.
Watching this, and I think you and I had this conversation while we were watching it together. I'm like, the setting of this movie is one single place.
Yes.
And there's only like 5 characters. Like, this gives me vibes of it being a stage play. And you looked up on your phone, you're like, it was a stage play first.
I didn't know that the first time I
didn't
watched it.
either. Like,
I think I said it in the show, and I was like, this works so well on stage.
Yeah.
Like, it would. And then
Like,
we
it's
looked it up, and
one-
we're like, oh, because it was a stage play.
it takes place in Brendan Fraser's
Apartment.
character's apartment.
Yeah.
And there's only like 5 characters
It's
in the
Brendan
entire...
Fraser, the
His-
religious dude, his caretaker,
daughter and his ex-wife.
and his ex-wife.
Yes.
And then there's 6. There's the pizza guy.
The pizza guy.
The
who was
pizza guy.
kind of insignificant, but
But he's there.
he's there. He means
He's
well.
there multiple times.
He means well. So basically, a rundown of this. It is Brendan Fraser plays. He's a
We looked
college
it up.
professor.
a 600-pound man.
He is extremely obese, very unhealthy. And as the film progresses, you learn the backstory about how he came to it. He was always a bigger guy,
The overweight, yes.
he has some serious mental health issues.
Yeah.
And he is a brilliant guy. Like I said, he's a college professor. He teaches English and creative writing, and
Yeah.
but he has to do all of his classes online because
He specializes in like essays and stuff like that. That's what
he
he
is.
does.
He is too large to leave his house. Basically.
Like I said, we had to look up the actual weight. According to the internet, his character is 600 pounds, and you
Wow.
you see him early on the movie. Like at one point, you see him in the shower, and you see like the bodysuit that Brendan Fraser had to wear during this, and it very much looks
it was
unwieldy.
The movie was done so it was a lot of practical effects. Like
Yes.
you said, the bodysuit. Brendan Fraser won the Oscar for this. Frankly, he deserved it.
He acted the fuck out
He
of this
did.
role.
He did a great job, and I enjoyed this movie. It was sad. It was depressing.
Essentially, like the movie breaks down to this guy who's, like you said, college professor. He teaches online, and he has like a caretaker nurse that you learn later on. is significantly related to him, not familiar related to him, but he's like they have a backstory together.
We find out that he's also gay.
Yes,
And
he was married.
He was married to a woman.
Yes. And they had a kid.
Yes.
And early on in like within the first like 8 years of being married and with the daughter was like 8 years old whenever he started finding out, like he fell in love with one of his students.
Right. Who's a man.
Yes, who's a man, and they had like a love affair essentially, and he ended up leaving his wife for this man
and his child.
Yes, that he kind of like emptied themselves out of their lives to go be in love with this guy, and he ends up dying, committing suicide.
The boyfriend. Brendan Fraser's boyfriend.
Because there's this like local culty church in the area,
which kind of plays a secondary subplot.
Yeah.
There's a
missionary.
We thought they were Mormon at first, but we find out later they're more like Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah.
Tomato, really, but whatever. Yeah. They're in. By the way, this takes place in Idaho, which isn't that far away from Utah,
and isn't that accepting of gay men.
Correct.
So
correct.
This whole thing plays a role. Essentially, the boyfriend kills himself. And it kind of drives Brendan Fraser's character to the brink where he develops. He was already like you said, he's already an overweight guy, but he goes insane.
He develops an eating disorder,
like a significantly harder one, where he gains all this weight. And essentially, the whole thing takes place over the period of 1 week. It goes, even there's title cards. It goes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and he's essentially dying. He's basically in like heart failure. Essentially, like everybody's telling him, you need to go to the hospital, blah blah, but he doesn't want to spend any money going to the hospital, because all the money he has saved up, he wants to give to his daughter, who he fucked over, basically. Like he fucked up and he did something bad. He's doing what he can to make up for it. Is what he's trying to do. And then his daughter comes to the picture, who's played by what's her name from
Sadie Sink.
Sadie Sink. Fucking fantastic.
She does a great job.
She's so good in this.
She kind of plays a bitchy teenager. Which at first you're like, oh.
I think at one point you're like, well, she's kind of a cunt.
Yeah, like what a cunt she is.
And then you find out.
But then you find out what he kind of did, and
you're like, all right, I get it.
But then she has like this redeeming arc at the end. It's so well done.
Throughout the entire movie, he keeps reading this essay about Moby Dick.
Right.
Even in the first part, when you're introduced to the Jehovah's Witness type character, he comes in there, and Brendan Fraser's character's watching gay porn, and he starts basically having like heart palpitations, and so the character comes in, he calls him in, and he's basically gives him this page like, you gotta read that to me and stuff like that. He's reading off this essay from Moby Dick. You come to find out that the essay was written by his daughter years ago, and he's memorized this essay, and he calls it the best essay he's ever read because it's the most real, it's the most truthful essay where she's talking about real stuff.
It's genuine.
Yes, that's a perfect name for it. It's a genuine essay, and he's memorized it. It culminates into the saddest point in the entire movie at the end of the movie, essentially, which spoilers obviously. He's essentially dying of heart failure, and he wants his daughter's there, and he tells her to read the essay to him. It's the last thing that he wants to hear before he dies. It's incredibly deep meaning, and she reads off the essay and she's reading it to him, and it's just it's one of the saddest movies I've ever watched. The first time I watched it, I fucking wept. I was like, this movie is just not only the story, but just like Brendan Fraser's performance, the Oscar moment. I just need to make sure I did one thing right in my life, or whatever the line was. Like that. So good, so good.
It's a really good movie. I do want to bring up, and I have a problem with this, and I need to get better. I need to be able to divorce myself from reality from time to time when I'm watching these films. And this is something I used to not have a problem with, and I blame our current political climate and basically bad, shitty people winning and succeeding, that now I find it hard to root for shitty people. And that's a problem. I think
You mean
that's a problem.
because he had an affair with his wife previously?
You and I got into an argument about this. I like this movie very much. I
would argue you got an argument. I was being chill about
Here
it.
we go.
I would argue that.
Here we fucking go.
I didn't realize it was an
Listen.
argument until after the fact. So
No. You, all I said, and I never wanted to say that I didn't like this movie, because that's nothing could be farther from the truth. How much I enjoyed this film. Was it depressing? Yes. Was it sad? Yes. But one thing I did point out, and I'm speaking from someone who is a father and has a family, and to me, it's hard for me to empathize and see myself in somebody else's shoes. The last thing I would ever do in life would be to leave my family.
yeah,
And for him to do
it's an incredibly fucked up thing to do.
it is a fucked up thing to do. So my argument was that he's not a good person. And you said you don't think he's a bad person. You agree that he's not a good person, but you don't think he's a bad person.
I've given it some thought, and I don't think I articulated myself as well last
drinking.
week. Yeah, well, yeah, but like I also don't think I articulated what I think about it as much as well as I could do now. What I mean to say is, and I understand your philosophy on it.
Right.
My issue with your philosophy is it doesn't leave any room for forgiveness. And here's what I'm saying: he was a bad person. But he was a bad person who was trying to make up for his mistakes. Is the issue.
Is it too little, too late? Like you said it yourself, he's got a week to live. Could he have done this a long time ago? Could he have tried to make amends?
I think for some people, it's hard to recognize that they need to make mistakes until they realize they have no time left. I think for some people, it's very difficult to recognize, because for some people, they think they have all the time of the world until they don't.
Right.
And so when he realized, like I said, his ex-boyfriend who died's sister was a nurse that was his basically caretaker, would come and take care of him, and they had a special relationship. When he realized, and she kind of gave him the news of like, yeah, you need to go to the hospital, you're going to fucking die. That's when he realized, okay, I have no time left. And at first I had all the time in the world, to make amends. Now I don't. I have to do it now. I think he was a bad person. He definitely was a bad person. When he cheated on his wife and when he left the family, he was definitely a bad person. I think now in the person we see in the movie was a bad person, trying, whether it would work or not doesn't matter, but was doing what he could to try to make up for even when you watch the movie, he didn't care. Like the entire movie, she was shit talking him, saying "fuck you, get out of my life, I don't need you in my life," like talking down to him, and he would look at her with a smile and be like, "Be mad at me." Like he said it himself, like, "Be mad at me. Don't be mad at the world. Don't hate everybody else. Be mad at me. I'm the one that fucked you over." And he was doing what he can to try, before he died, to make up for what he did. And I think that was the argument I was trying to make, but I didn't articulate it well enough.
You definitely
last week.
articulated it better now.
Yes.
And I agree with you. Also, in your defense, you warned me going into this movie. Yeah. I was I still am. We talked about it last week. My grandmother just passed away. And I'm very emotional and I'm on edge right now. And I'm still not good. But last week I was numb. It had just happened. And you warned me that how emotional this movie is. But I had been wanting to see this movie for a while. So I said, oh, I'll be fine. I don't know if I was after watching it. And I think that put me in a state as well. And I'm not making up excuses.
No, you're good, man.
But
this movie will put you in an emotional state, even if you're not in it. Trust me.
I was already hanging by a moment, as Lifehouse would say. I was already hanging by a moment, and then this movie just... And I need to do a better job of realizing that you know what this is?
Characters.
They're fictional characters. These are made-up stories. We talk about that show Yellowstone that everybody jerks off to, the Taylor Sheridan show, and how much I dislike it because everybody sucks. They're fictional characters.
Yeah.
Like, I need to shut the fuck up.
It's like
and be like, hey, this isn't real. Yes, they can't do this today because if it was real, they'd all be in prison for the rest of their lives. But it's not real. Like, I need to, like...
It's like Tulsa King. They're just fictional characters.
They're not same
real.
guys. Taylor Sheridan. Like, I need to like slap myself in the face and be like, stop thinking everything is real. I live in this world where bad guys are winning. I don't want to see bad guys win on the screen either.
We didn't talk about politics, but you know, there's one bad guy things aren't going as well for right now.
Hey, if you subscribe to our Patreon, you'll hear what Adam's talking about. Adam, how can they do that?
If you want to listen to all of our great shows, if you want to listen to everything else that we've done, I'm assuming that, you know, most of you know where we're at, but we do a podcast. You can find us at Facebook and Twitter. Search for Distraction at Podcast FYD. We upload the audio to our Podbean, which is our main hub, but it goes out to Spotify, iTunes, and Google Play. You can search for Distraction there and find us on there. We do our live streaming when we do it mostly every Saturday night. You can, if you're subscribed to the face or you're following us on Facebook, I upload the links there when we do our live stream, but we do it on our YouTube. Links to everything is in the description of all the shows. I will also make sure that these are posted as cleaned up videos for the YouTube later on. Like Scott said, we have a Patreon, which we do bonus episodes for. Patreon.com/4distraction, link in the description. You can subscribe to us on there. Just $1 a month. 4 quarters, 100 pennies a month just to listen to us go on there and talk about other, you know, bonus stuff we didn't get a time to talk to. It's right now where I'm trying to lean more the political talk, because, you know, we want to say the fun stuff for the main show, but, you know, we like to have fun on there. We go off on tangents on the Patreon too sometimes, so, you know, subscribe to us on there. We upload every week. We're still a member of the Electronic Media Collective. Head over to electronicmediacollective.com and you can listen to us and a bunch of other really, really great shows out there. There was a time, I feel like, I don't know if because just we're in the podcast community or not, there was a time where like podcast networks were a thing. I feel like they're less now. I feel like it was almost like a bubble pop essentially, where like for a period in like the late 2010s to early 2020s, there was like a lot of podcast networks out there.
But we still are in a podcast network.
Yeah, I was saying Electronic Media Collective is still going strong. It still exists. So, you know,
They do a nice job.
They do.
Know, I'm
we
happy.
love being part of that family.
We do. I'm happy with them, and
Yeah.
they haven't kicked us out like our former podcast network.
I don't
So
want to talk about that.
yeah,
We're
screw
not
them.
going to talk about that.
But so definitely give the Electronic Media Collective some love. Head on over to electronicmediacollective.com. I know I tend to check it out from time to time. I'm not as
I think you're the social media manager, so you check that stuff
I
out
do.
more
I
than
check
do,
it out
so.
from time to time. I'm very busy. I don't go there as much as I would like to, but I do from time to time check it out just to see where we are and see where these other great shows are, our sister shows, and they're doing a wonderful job over there. So if you ever get a free second, electronicmediacollective.com. Adam, I forgot to tell you what we're watching.
Hope you stayed tuned to the after credits, basically.
We just kind of went with it.
We did, yeah.
And I really want people to subscribe to our Patreon and hear what we got to talk about next. I think it's going to be a politics heavy, so
Politics light. I got a few politics things.
okay. But for next week, Coercive Cinema, I'm going to make Adam watch an older film. It's called 12 Angry Men.
Okay.
And unfortunately, I've wanted to make you watch this for a while. It's with Peter Fonda. It's one of my faves. It's a classic, but it wasn't on anything to stream. And I just found it recently on Tubi.
To be or not to be.
I don't... Tubi's a thing,
I guess.
but
yeah.
it's like a free streaming. I think there might be ads.
Probably, yeah.
So it is what it is. But that means everybody listening to this for next week, you can watch 12 Angry Men for free.
You can,
There's
yes.
no excuse. If you haven't already seen it, then you can watch it and we'll talk about
you
it.
have to watch it. You must.
It's your
watch
homework.
It. It's your responsibility to watch it, ladies and gentlemen. Scott,
Adam,
it was a really good show.
it was a good show.
I love the
I'm really
brackets.
looking forward
I love
to
the
next week.
brackets. I'm a fan.
Tune in next week, the round of 32. Adam's got some picks to make.
They're getting tougher. They're getting tougher.
It was, you know who they are now. They're moving on. They're going to face each other until we get to the Sweet 16, the Elite 8, the Final 4.
I'm gonna do what
you have a champion.
I'm gonna do what I can to make it a little more cinematic, maybe. Second.
Well, now we know.
camera, all
I
that
wanted
good
to surprise
stuff.
you,
No,
but now we can get some graphics
Yeah,
going.
this is the important stuff. This is now the nitty gritty. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned.